The most recent episode of 911 featured some terrifying developments, but one particular detail gives fans hope that a reunion of 911, Lone Star may be imminent. Since the surprising conclusion of 911 Season 8 Episode 9 made it possible for Eddie to depart Episode 118, there has been conjecture regarding the future of the series following his return to Texas. Although Eddie's return to 911 has already been confirmed, little is known about how his Texas storyline will function throughout the remainder of the program. It would be fantastic if some familiar faces made an appearance during this trip to Texas, as many fans were just not prepared for 911, Lone Star to end when it did. The fact that Eddie's story arc offers a clear route to the potential return of Lone Star's cancelled characters is one of the reasons why Season 8 Episode 9, Sob Stories, is already regarded as one of 9-11's greatest episodes. Additionally, the series could use Eddie's storyline in a few different ways to achieve this. Buck makes room for Eddie's departure by subletting Eddie's place himself after he spends the majority of the episode undermining Eddie's efforts to find a subletter and attempting to substitute a beagle for his best friend. According to 911 co-creator Tim Minear, Eddie is now free to return to El Paso and live nearer to Christopher, which will be depicted on screen. Eddie's time on the show is definitely not over, even though it's unclear how long he will stay in Texas or whether he will return later with Christopher at his side. It's also possible that Eddie will end up going in a completely different direction after leaving. Eddie and Christopher may choose to travel together for a while, but spending more time together does not require Eddie to remain in Texas permanently. That would make it simple to justify Eddie's arrival in Tennessee in time for the Nashville spin-off of 911. Fans will of course be more curious to see if the show shows any affection for its former Lone Star cast now that Eddie is in Texas. The fact that Eddie might be in Texas for a considerable period of time makes it quite plausible that he and Chris might eventually make the 8-hour drive from El Paso to Austin, even though many fans are only hoping that Buck renting Eddie's place is paving the way for a future romance between the two of them. The possibility of a Lone Star character or two passing through town for whatever reason, possibly just passing through when an unfortunate event deflects their path, remains open even if he is kept in El Paso. Some Lone Star characters have more opportunities to appear than others because of Eddie's Texas arc on 911. Following the conclusion of Lone Star, Owen no longer even resides in Texas, and the show's omission of any reference to Grace following the time jump in the finale gave the impression that her Mercy ship would never return. However, in the crossover episode of Season 2 of Lone Star, Eddie developed a strong bond with Judd and Marjan, so it would be nice to see him get back together with one or both of them. 9-11's 8th season is currently heating up a lot, with Sob Stories laying the groundwork for one of the show's darkest storylines. Fans are probably going to remember Maddie's heartbreaking scene from 911, where she encourages a kidnapper to commit suicide, for a significant portion of Maddie's next abduction episode. A Lone Star reunion can give the show the upbeat vibe it needs to help fans emotionally recover after so much darkness. It would be nice to see the series take a slightly lighter turn after that. Another worry is that Jennifer Love Hewitt's upcoming movie role in the most recent season of I Know What You Did Last Summer may result in at least a brief break from the program, which would probably be justified by Maddie's need for a break following the events of her current story arc. It would be good to see 911 bring back some other well-known characters to make up for the absence of a fan-favorite character who was on the bench for a few episodes. That's easier than ever because Eddie lives only a few hours away from Austin.